I'm Talor Gooch, proud Oklahoma State Cowboy, the 2023 Live Golf Champion. Welcome to my Live lesson.
Oh, that's incredible.
Yeah, good job, Tay.
Just sensational from Talor Gooch. If he can put this one away, he is the Live Golf League champion.
You know, golfers obviously look different than other sports and other athletes. We don't have quite as much muscle mass. We don't have quite as much chiseled bodies, but weightlifting is still crucial, still important. At the end of the day, we're trying to prolong our careers. We're trying to play as much golf as possible. It doesn't matter if you're an amateur or a pro, and to do so, you have to have strength. The ground is not forgiving, and we're hitting the ground a lot. And so, you know, you gotta have strength, and that just comes through weightlifting. So we're gonna go over some of those key factors that I do both in season and in the off season to, you know, help make sure that I'm continuing to improve my body and making sure that I'm gonna be able to play this game as long as I can.
He sends it on its way. Oh, goodness! Talor Gooch is the Live Golf League's road warrior.
Everything we're gonna do here is great, but there's some stuff that I'm only gonna do before a tournament, and there's some stuff I'm only gonna do after a tournament. So we're gonna go over both of those. Obviously, as I start throwing more weights around, that's gonna be more for after a tournament. For post round, we're gonna go get a workout in, we're gonna, you know, throw some weights around. My body has, you know, 12 to however 20 hours to recover, rather than doing, you know, 3 sets of, you know, front dumbbell squats before a round, and I start to fatigue my muscles. Again, before round is to warm the muscles up. After the round is to fatigue the muscles. So you want to get warmed up before the round. You want to get a good lather in, and we're going to go over what a post-round workout looks like, where we're going to throw some more weights around. We're going to start to exhaust the muscles because they're going to have time to recover before we get going the next day. Now we're going to get some dumbbells. We're going to get some plates. We're going to get some weights, stuff that most people that spend time in the gym are a little bit more accustomed to than what we've been doing. So these are gonna be movements that are not only going to build strength, but are gonna continue to make you dynamic and continue to work on your range of motion. So, you know, while we are gonna be focusing more on weights, what we're gonna continue to do is try to be as athletic and as dynamic as possible. So again, the golf swing, you're not just standing here moving one movement. We will never stand here and just curl. We will never stand here and just tricep press, right? The golf swing is tons of movements on different planes, weight transfers and all that. So while we are lifting weights and we're starting to throw some weights around, we're still gonna stay dynamic. So the first thing we're gonna do is called a curl to press, but it's gonna be on a single leg. Again, trying to make this more challenging, more dynamic than just your traditional, you know, just curling, right? You're not just gonna curl. So you're gonna get on one leg. So now the leg that's down, everything has to fire. Everything has to be locked in as you curl to press. So you're building strength while staying dynamic. And if this looks easy, then just go try it. Okay, so usually when I start to get into the weightlifting parts, we're now moving into 3 sets. Again, 6 to 10 reps. So just then my right leg was down. I'm gonna do, you know, 4 to 5 reps on that side, and then we're gonna switch to left leg is down and do 4 to 5 reps here. And again, left leg is firing, stabilizing, working on balance, while we're also building strength. The ground is not soft, and so when you're continuing to hit golf balls and you're taking divots and you're hitting the ball and hitting the ground, your joints, and especially, you know, your wrist and your elbows and your shoulders are gonna take a beating, and especially if you're spending much time doing it. So, you know, making sure that, you know, your arms, your shoulders, you know, your wrists, everything is strong, it's crucial, because, you know, you don't often see very small guys with no muscle that stay healthy in this game. So, you know, you got to make sure that we got a little bit of meat on them bones to make sure that it can take the pounding that this game will give you. I know that there's a lot of people out there who like to skip leg day,
But the golf swing doesn't allow that. I mean, your legs, your feet, that's the only thing that's connected to the ground, and so you have to have strength in there. You have to have mobility. You have to be able to balance. I mean, all the things that the body needs to do to be able to swing in a great way, it starts with the legs. It starts with your lower body. So that has to be a focus, and we're gonna show some things to help you with that.
Like we talk about, your legs are what's connected to the ground. So we're not taking leg days off. So one of my favorite movements to do is a squat, but rather than loading our back and doing back squats, we're gonna get, again, a little bit more dynamic here. We're gonna get a little bit more depth than what your traditional squats are gonna be. So we like to do a front squat with a dumbbell here. You're gonna hold it here, and then you're going down. And you gotta get low with it, right? So look at the depth here. This is working on my range of motion while also working on your strength. Same thing here. We're starting to lift weights, so it's gonna be 6 to 10 reps, and we're gonna be doing 3 sets of that. So that's, again, not only great for strength, but it's also great for range of motion, hip mobility.
Pros and amateurs have a little bit different styles of golf, and the training methods might be a little bit different. But I have far too often seen my buddies back home or amateurs when we're playing in pro-am events that, you know, they're complaining about their back, or they're complaining about their shoulder, or they're complaining about something. And, you know, I know it's not an amateur's job to be a refined, incredible athlete, but we all love golf. We want to play as much as possible. So getting in the gym is so crucial. I know everyone wants to take a little bit of money off their boys back home. I know everyone wants to go and shoot the lowest score they can. You know, just everyone still wants to be good at this game, and to do so, you can't just show and go. And you gotta go put the time in the gym, and it doesn't have to be long. You know, you can spend 20 minutes before a round or 20 minutes after a round making sure you're getting your body right or recovering right. And it just doesn't take that much time to make sure you're playing your best golf possible. So let's make sure we can do that.
So the next exercise we're gonna move into is gonna continue to build strength, but it's also gonna be an explosive movement while also working on range of motion, being dynamic, being athletic. So this is gonna be your squat to pulls. So you're gonna get these cables, get them down. You're gonna put whatever weight you're comfortable with on these. You're gonna grab the cables, you're gonna move away, you're gonna go down and explode up and pull. So again, we're not working just on curls or, you know, bench press. We're getting athletic, we're getting dynamic. So this is working on, obviously, your hips. You're getting down deep into it. You're not, you know, you're getting down here, you're not stopping here. So you're getting good depth and exploding and pulling. So again, you're building strength, you're being explosive, and you're working on range of motion. One of my next favorite things to do, you know, just like when we were on the ground, you know, you gotta work on your core, you gotta work on your T-spine, your rotational movements. You also gotta work on your hips. You gotta work on, you know, your mobility, range of motion, your strength. Also, you gotta work on your balance. So one of my other favorite movements, we've got some weight here, but it's very, very light. This is not a heavy weightlifting move. This is one about mobility, two about strength, but most importantly, this is about firing your brain to match up with your muscles, which is balance. You want to get as much balance through this movement as possible. Okay, so you grab with one arm, the opposite leg. So I have left arm, right leg, and what we're going to do is called a hinge to pull. So we're going to hinge down and then pull up. It's not fast movements. And you want to do this again 6 to 10 times. And this is working hard on firing everything in here to make sure you don't fall over, right? So again, you're gonna do 6 to 10 hinges to pulls with this side. And then after you've done 6 to 10 of those, you're gonna switch to the other side. So again, you have an arm right here that's grabbing it. Opposite leg is what's down. Then you're gonna hinge to pull. Hinge to pull. Same thing. Your butt, your glute, your hips, everything has to fire whenever you're doing this movement right here. And again, not only is it firing, but it's stabilizing. Without the stability, you're gonna lose balance. So you do 6 to 10 of those.
How we go about my training, there's not an in-season and off-season really. We don't look at it like other sports where in the off-season you go and put a bunch of muscle mass on or go get a lot stronger, a lot faster. We try to view my training as a rocket ship. Like there's no highs and lows, you're just continuing to ascend. Now we do incorporate a little bit more strength training when it's not tournament week, just because you don't want to exhaust your muscles too much during a tournament week. So during off season, there's gonna be a little bit more strength training, but still, you know, there's not a huge difference in my off season and in season as far as how I'm training, because again, like I said, we like to view my training like a rocket ship. It's just, we're gonna continue to ascend and continue to improve. And that's how we like to view it.
Everything we do, we try to hit more than just one thing. Again, the golf swing is about balance, it's about power, and it's about mobility. So everything we're gonna do is gonna continue to focus on those things.
Repetition, it exhausts the body. We've all been on golf trips with buddies, and a couple days in, dudes start to struggle, dudes start to hurt, and they start to say, man, these 3, 4, 5 day golf trips, they're tough on the body. And so with what I do, making sure the body is in shape and strong enough and we're recovering right to make sure on all this repetition that it's staying as healthy as it can. And it doesn't matter if you're an amateur or a pro. Like I said, you want to be able to go to your buddy's trips and go play 3, 4, 5 days of golf, and on that last day you're still feeling as good as you can. And that's a challenge, but you can overcome that challenge with the more time that you spend in the gym.
So each one of these exercises we're going to be doing 8 to 10 times, and then we're going to be doing 3 sets of it, right? Because this is the type of stuff that we're going to be doing post round. This is the type of stuff we're going to be doing in off weeks. Before I go and tee it off in a tournament, we might add some of this weight stuff in, but it's gonna be more focused on the medicine balls and some of the, just body weight stuff. After the rounds, that's when we start throwing some weight around, and also in off weeks, we're throwing weight around. Next, we're gonna get a medicine ball here, and then you're gonna get some dumbbells. So again, rather than just benching, staying on a standard bench, we're gonna get dynamic with it. So you're gonna get on a medicine ball and we're gonna do presses. So what this does is you're on an unstable surface, so your core is having to activate. Your legs are having to activate. So you're not just standing on or laying on a flat, stable surface. This is, again, getting dynamic. It's having your brain having to fire these different muscles to maintain balance. And you're pressing. And if you are a little bit off, then you start to lose balance, right? So everything has to be working in unison. So, same thing, you're doing 8 to 10 reps there, 3 sets, building strength, You're building that dynamic movement and you're on an unstable surface. So you're continuing to fire more than just one muscle. Your core is firing, your hips are firing, and you're starting to get athletic.
All right, now that we got the muscles firing, it's just time to aim and pull the trigger. Let's get in the simulator and have some fun.